Hello and welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. This is a quick showcase video for my Orc army. No, not the Orcs with a K. This is the Orcs with a C. I've had these Orcs for absolutely years, sat in a box, waiting to be finished painting. There's still a few boxes upstairs which I haven't finished, but these are the ones that are finished. It is a viable army as it is, and they've only ever been used a few times. So I just wanted to show you very briefly, because it's a very different painting style to the Orcs, the 40k Orcs with a K, that I'm doing right now. So let me just take you through the units. Okay, so first off, the reason I'm doing this video is because a few people have asked to see if I have any Warhammer armies, and I do have a couple of Warhammer armies. This is the most painted Warhammer army that I've got. So I thought I'd show you this one, rather than my half-painted Chaos army, or my hardly even stuck together Empire army, or my just undercoated Dwarf army. I thought this would be a bit more interesting as they're painted. So I'll just take you through the units. I do have bases for all these units, but I've just left them off because it's a bit faffy to manoeuvre them and use the camera at the same time. So this is a unit of Savage Orcs, because this is the theme of the army, Savage and Forest, as we'll get to later. So this is the Savage Orc unit. Okay, I do have some more of these upstairs unpainted. Whether they were going to become a separate unit on their own, or whether they were just going to bolster this 20 orc unit into a 50 orc unit, I haven't decided. So if you want to tell me what you think is better, to have like another unit of 20 and a unit of 10 archers, or just one massive unit of 50, please let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, this is a basic unit, and we have potential leaders for this unit. The Savage Orc boss, there he is, raw. He's a potential leader for that unit. I got them all just because I really liked it. I thought it was awesome, that massive axe. I painted this as soon as it came out, so it's been painted for some time. It does look radically different to my 40k Orcs, because my 40k Orcs are more dingy and dirty, and I tried to go for as realistic as possible as you can with a fantasy science fiction game, but there you go. This is more fantasy S painting. This is my second option for a unit leader, which is an Orc Shaman. There he is, or Shaman, whichever way you want to say it, Shaman or Shaman. There he is, with his beard totem, stolen from a dwarf. Okay, and then there's another one, which is a special character, which I shall just find in the book before I wax lyrical about stuff I don't know about. Yeah, here he is. Boom. This is Wurzag, the Great Green Prophet. There he is. So these guys have been sat in a box for quite some time. Here they are, in a fantasy glory. And he's a level 4 Savage Orc Shaman. And yeah, his rules are really cool. He's 350 points on his own. He was going to be the leader of the army with the other Savage Orc Shaman backing him up in a big unit. That was my original idea. So tell me what you think of that. Probably rubbish, but I like trying quirky things. And I thought, Orcs? Yes, I'll do Orcs. Let's just do Savage Orcs. Yeah, okay. So just moving on to my next unit now. Okay, so this is a unit of Savage Orc Boar Boys. More Savage Orcs, yep. 10 of them, complete with full command of a drummer, a standard bearer, and obviously champion, or whatever it goes for a champion in an Orc army. I shall just find out for you. That's a Savage Orc Boar Boy, and a Savage Orc Boar Boy Big 'Un. Unlike 40k where you've got knobs, in this you've got big uns. Okay, I'll leave that thought with you. Anyway, the leader for this unit would be another Savage Orc Shaman, this time replete on his boat. This is a metal model I have in my hand here. That's how old this model is. It is a metal model. No longer produced by Games Workshop since Finecast turned up. There it is. Hopefully you can see that, if the camera will focus. The camera is actually attached to a stand, even though it wants to keep trying to refocus itself. I need to get a better camera. Okie dokie. So shall we move on to the next unit? The next unit is actually 2 units. So for the Squeamish review, you may have already seen that these are spiders. They're actually Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So yeah, if you don't like spiders, it's probably best to turn off now because they're going to get a bit bigger in a minute. But these are 2 units of 10, and I like these guys because they're a bit more quirky. The goblins look a bit more primitive, so they go with the savage orcs, and I think they look pretty cool in purple and pretty fantasy-esque. But with them, I shall show you. As I said, I promised the spiders are going to be a bit bigger. Their boss is this guy on a much bigger spider. There you go. Again, that is another metal model. See it properly. All around. Nice big skull on the back of the spider. So that is the next part of this army. A goblin big boss on a big spider, or giant spider. I said giant, but then here comes the next unit for the army. And there he is. I did warn you, he's an Arachna Orc Spider. He's a rare choice for a Orc and Goblin army. Pretty awesome. You get a spin around of this thing. Got some Forest Goblins on a howder at the back. And the thing is actually equipped with a web flinger. That's that thing just coming into focus there at the top, which fires webs and spiders at the enemy. So again, if you're squeamish about spiders, not the best army for you, but there you go. Take a good look at that. So that's the main stray of the Orc army, right there. There's a couple of characters, little goblins. There's this guy who's actually the little shaman, little goblin shaman that comes in this big spider kit that you've just seen. There's an option to sit him on top of the spider instead of having the flinger. But I went for the flinger because it gives a bit of support and something for them to worry about. But I do like this guy, so I painted him up. And hopefully one day I'll find a use for him, perhaps in a converted Forest Goblin unit, which would be pretty cool. We also have this guy, which is a really old, probably really old model, Forest Goblin model, the first Goblin metal model I ever got. I found him in a box when I was painting this lot and I thought, it's got to do it, it's got to paint him up. He looks a bit like Spider and probably a bit more, I don't know, Native American with his little headdress and everything. But I gave him a little spider shield so he's matching. And he's got a little tomahawk there, which I thought was pretty cool. So I thought I'd paint him up with the rest of the army just to not leave him out. But anyway, compare him to the latest, or latest at the time, Goblin Shaman made of plastic. There you go. You can see all the detail on that, massive amount of detail. An awesome model. The reason I got him. See if we can... There you go. Love the base that he's on as well. It gives him some real good depth when he's on the battlefield, makes him stand out from the other goblins. He's very cool. So that is the mainstay of the Orc and Goblin army with plenty of hero options. So I can switch them around if I want to. I did want to get and convert a big unit of just normal forest goblins, because the common goblins I don't really suit the army at all. The night goblins, even though I love the night goblins, I did plan to do a night goblin army at some point, full of squigs. Having never got round to that, but I'll just show you the last bits of the army, which are the monsters. So here we have the giant. And a lot of you may think, that's not the giant from Games Workshop. Well, it is. I'm afraid it is a giant from Games Workshop. It's just a very old metal giant from Games Workshop, not the plastic current one that's available. I do have a plastic one, but he's actually attached to my Chaos army, my Marauders. There you go. That's my Orc and Goblin giant. Thought he was pretty cool. So I painted him with the symbols on his arms, just like the smaller orc cousins that he wants to be so much like. But there you go. That's the first optional monster in the army. So here's the next monster for my army. Yeah, you guessed it. It's a manticore. Just to complete the horde related background. No, nothing to do with the horde from World of Warcraft. I just like the manticore, and I had a use for the rider with his scythe, which you may have seen on a previous video. If you hadn't already worked it out, yes, it came from this kit. A bit of dust on him as well. He's been sat in a box with the rest of them. Get some of that dust off. So there he is, manticore. Happy chappy. Not very happy chappy, in fact. Quite annoyed most of the time. So yeah, he's another option for my army. Do you like them? Came in with Storm of Magic and the Forge World books. But I'll show you another entry that's actually in the Orcs and Goblin army book. Another monster option for my army. And here they are. River Trolls. Oh yes. There's to be some trolls somewhere. And I loved these plastic River Troll models for so long. Ever since they were released, long before I decided to get an Orc and Goblin army. Amazing. I love this guy with the angler fish attachment to his head. Looks ace. You can imagine how he just caught that fish that he's about to eat. That's so cool. And here's the other guys with a hook. And the guy with a massive 200 club. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed looking at the Orc and Goblin army that I've got so far. It's been a while since these guys saw light of day, so I thought I'd do a quick video on them for anyone who wondered if I'd played Warhammer or not. It's been a while, but yes, I do love Warhammer. As much as I love Potg, I just don't have as much chance to play it or paint the models. If you've got any questions, please ask. If you want to see any of the other Warhammer armies, you may have to wait, but I will paint them and show you them if you're that interested. And hopefully you've enjoyed this, and hopefully that'll make you like and subscribe to the channel. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.